His game on Tuesday was balanced. Can we see it here tonight as Atlanta starts off with the rock? And Te-Hina Paopao being guarded by DeWanna Bonner. That's a little bit of a different look, too, that we're going to see. DeWanna Bonner's minutes have been limited, with Stephanie White mentioning the rotations with the anchor as right away a three goes up for Bree Jones.
Out here, too. I don't have to just dominate in the paint.
Atlanta coming off of back-to-back games, scoring 90-plus points, and Caitlin Clark can score with the best of the season with back-to-back 20-point, 10-assist games. And by the way, that first game was a triple-double against the Chicago Sky. And right away, Bree Jones.
In the first game of the season, just not Bonner-like.
BG going against Natasha Howard, and another bucket. How about the free agency picks? Much like Tuesday, Atlanta off to a very efficient offensive start. 9 on the shot clock. Aliyah Boston going against BG. Bad idea. Gets it back to Natasha Howard. 3 on the shot clock and gets it to drop.
Natasha Howard in her own right is a rebounder. She's a veteran in this league. She knows how to play around the rim.
Rhyne Howard. When that goes through the net early for Rhyne. Connections and links between these two teams. Hull going right at Te-Hina Paopao and gets the bucket, a much-needed bucket for Indiana.
Baited her and said, I dare you to shoot that ball. She's 50% in this game from 3, but she can knock it down.
Back-to-back buckets for Indiana. Now things are starting to groove from Coach Schmesko of why she's needed and the impact she can make on both ends.
Absolutely. We didn't like seeing that she didn't touch the court the first game, and we said, how are they going to work it? Nance Hillman. He found a way.
Bree Jones did it last game, does it again, going the distance. Caitlin gets it back, tries to send it over. Cunningham gets it to go. One field goal made since the 9-minute mark. But it's how everyone else gets involved. Natasha Howard with a beautiful dive to the rim. Sophie Cunningham smothering defense on Alicia Gray. The double team comes over for BG. She has 5 seconds to work with. In and out. Bree Jones tried to get it up. That's blocked by Howard.
There were only 13 jobs available, so when I heard the Dream might be interested, I wanted to hear what they had to say, and right away, they had the same vision.
Thanks, Autumn. Well, right now, the Fever have come alive in the second quarter. Indiana's bench has 11 points.
Good block. Good block by Rhyne Howard, who thought it went off of Kelsey Mitchell.
Paopao thought about it, sends it to Bree Jones, lines it up. Another one!
I love it. Brianna Jones and Brittany Griner, who can knock down that 3 ball. Unstoppable.
Caitlin, we know very well she likes to let it fly from the left. Pulls up, baseline, good to go.
It was the hesitation that got that shot to go.
On her way for a third one.
Atlanta's just doing a really good job of trapping Caitlin Clark on that left side.
Natasha Howard, so shifty. That footwork. Griner hovered on the inside, had to send it out. 3 on the shot clock for Atlanta. Sometimes that's what Rhyne Howard is most successful in, the last second heaves.
You know what? That's been a few times they went down to the end of the shot clock as Howard slips through and Caitlin Clark finds her. Last season's assist leader.
It's how Caitlin Clark starts the initiative. Quickly, Sophie Cunningham. Quickly, Sophie Cunningham. What a first game back we're seeing from her. The strip by Kelsey Mitchell. Here comes the Jets. Quickly, Sophie Cunningham. What a first game back we're seeing from her. The strip by Kelsey Mitchell. Here comes the Jets. Atlanta needs a response here. They got 4 on the shot clock. Howard pulls up, triple, good.
When you get Rhyne Howard mad, this is what happens. But that first quarter was just so much fun. We barely heard any whistles, and we just allowed them to play. The pace was the game that we wanted to see.
You ask for pace, and she'll deliver. Kelsey Mitchell off the deck for Indiana. Natasha Howard looking for cutters. Indiana out-rebounding Atlanta by 3 and capitalizing on the second-chance points.
Natasha Howard and Kelsey Mitchell have been intentional in this second half.
Found herself a rebound. Sending it up the floor. Te-Hina Paopao again. Paopao for three.
Here in the W, the pace is faster, reads are faster, and you have to be okay with your decisions. She's been leaning on Jordan Canada, saying she's been walking her throughout this entire process.
Absolutely, as Atlanta regains the lead here off the BG bucket. It's been by committee as Kelsey Mitchell, relentless, gets it at the rim. Hard to come off the screen, you have to be set. Turnover for Nia Coffey. Sophie Cunningham outside, triple finds the bottom of the net. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Indiana with hole in the pull-up, and Nia Coffey gets the block.
Nia Coffey had that big-time block to seal the game a couple seasons ago, but she's come in this season with authority, and she's been looking good at both ends for the Dream.
Who would have thought Atlanta? 8 threes already.
Got a Brianna Jones who can shoot threes and stretch the floor. I'll call that for Atlanta.
Backdoor, more movement from Indiana, gets another bucket. It's a little bit of a seesaw. Clark found a lane, and she'll take it. Now, Atlanta has 3 players in the starting lineup with 3 or more fouls. BG on the bench right now with 5, as Aliyah Boston, strong move, gets the bucket. Ryan Howard, Caitlin Clark finding a way to miss.
Excellent.
Shifty getting into the paint. Some self-talk on the way back down the floor. Gray taking on the committee, pull up. 2 more for Alicia Gray, back-to-back buckets as it's a 1-point game. Ryan Howard has been more aggressive in this quarter. A lot to unpack there. They'll count the bucket for Ryan Howard. Getting another test. The kick out, Natasha Howard had all the time. Gets her own miss, fakes it outside.
3 out of the 4, Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark, and Aliyah Boston, all just frustrated in this game with their shots.
On the other side, they're saying, baby, make it rain. Another triple for Rhyne.
Ryan Howard said, I ain't done yet. She remembers that sweep from last season as Lexi Hull buries one. The defense went under the screen, and Hull said, that's too much space for me. That's too much space for me.
Oh, you gotta love it. And Ryan Howard coming back, trying to get the foul. Another bucket for Ryan Howard. This is what the people came to see.
And last year we had more CC fans in this building, but just now when she was at the free throw line, I got more boos or more yays when she missed the free throw.
Gray gets those fans you were talking about out of their seats. Finds the hands of Natasha Howard, flips that one in, add that to the circus reel. Big stop for Atlanta here. Kelsey lines it up. Why not?
What a time to come alive and hit your first 3 if you're Kelsey Mitchell.
Caitlin Clark has not hit a 3 in this game. Stops on the dime, looking to pull up, finds Aliyah Boston, who gets the bucket to go. Still a 1-possession game. Pacers game. I'm just gonna wait until the buzzer sounds. Ryan Howard looking for someone on the inbounds, finds Gray. Gray is short on the 3, and Kelsey Mitchell comes out of the path with the rock as the clock hits 0, and the get back has been completed for the Indiana Fever.
Hey, Steph. This question is for you. I just wanted to talk about what you saw out of your team that was different from Tuesday. Obviously, it's a quick turn, but how did you feel like your adjustments paid off on the court?
I felt like our defensive energy, physicality, disruptiveness was better. We made it more difficult for them, moving the ball around the perimeter. We executed better in our ball screen defense. Felt like we had each other's back a little bit more, and we played through breakdowns, and that's what it's going to take. It wasn't perfect, but we stayed together and we grew.
Natasha, it looked like you had a concerted effort to put your game out there and show a few people what was it about. What was different for you tonight than earlier this week?
Getting out my own head. That's the thing. I was in my own way, but thank God I had my teammates behind me to bring that confidence out of me tonight. I couldn't do without them, and also my coaches as well.
For Coach, what turned the game for you guys in the second quarter? It looked like they were stuck on 18 for a long time, and you guys got back in the game.
I felt like our depth came into play there, being able to go to our bench and bring a different defensive coverage and intensity level, and that allowed us to get out in transition. I mean, we're going to be at our best when we're in transition, and I felt like in that second quarter we were able to get out a little bit.
Yeah, just for Natasha or Lexi, how was it different playing with Sophie today after she missed the first two?
I mean, she brings a level of energy that is huge. And I think, not playing in the couple games, not getting a chance to practice fully before getting back out there, I was just really proud of her for the energy she brought. She made some big plays down the stretch, getting her hands on, getting steals and getting deflections, and we needed her tonight. So just really proud of her to be able to come out and contribute like that.
Coach, by my unofficial count, I think Lexi led the team in high fives tonight. How much does that help, just that positive attitude? And Lexi, is that something that you're conscious of doing during games?
I mean, I'm really just happy to see my teammates do well, and when they're not, trying to pick them up as much as I can. So if that's a high five, if that's, words of encouragement, however I can try to bring out the best in people and be just that positive energy, because, games go up and down, and hopefully those downs are as long as they can be. So just trying to get us out of those as quick as possible.
It's huge. I think that energy, I know a while back there was a study done, in the NBA about how important, those moments are. And, it doesn't matter if things are good, things are bad, just that little bit of encouragement, that little bit of, great stuff. We got your back. I mean, it all matters. And it's so important when it comes to team sport, because it's energy. Right, and it's positive energy. You see it all the time in body language with poor energy. This feeds your teammates, and it's so important. And Lexi does a great job of that.
Natasha, you talked about getting out of your own head. So what did you do differently as far as maybe this morning you did a little meditation, quiet time? What did that look like?
Absolutely, meditation, prayed, got some encouragement from my wife, my teammates. That's the only way for me to get going, because we got a long season, and I don't need to be in my own head and in my own way.
Coach, you guys were able to outscore the Dreams bench 22-10. How important was it, or what can you say about the importance of the bench's contribution tonight?
It's huge, and again, our depth and our ability to play different lineups, our ability to lift one another up if we don't have it. I mean, I thought Damaris Dantas was huge for us when AB got in foul trouble, and it's easy to look at numbers, but what she brought in terms of her ability to move the ball, her defensive physicality was huge. Obviously what Lexi and Sophie bring for us, and even Sid, I mean, she hadn't played the whole game, and we throw her in there in some time and score situations. We have a team that we can go 11 deep. We talk a lot about some days it's going to be your day, some day it's not, right? We have to choose the we over the me, and we have to stay ready, so we don't have to get ready. Every single person that impacted this game in a positive way, and I'm really proud of them.
Hey, this is for all three. Both of these games this week have been single-digit, pretty competitive games. Why do you guys think you matched up so well with the Dream?
I don't feel like we match up well with them. I mean, they're tough to handle. Obviously, they've got a lot of Olympians. They're quick and skilled on the perimeter. They're big and strong and tough on the interior. They're experienced. So, I feel like we have to use our versatility to combat some of that size that they have, and we have to use our depth to be able to try to wear down. They're really great guards. That's why it takes a collective effort, and the contributions that we got from our bench were huge.